Hi, everybody. My name is David Mashian, and I'm Dave the Real Estate Guy on Chapter 9 for our Commercial Real Estate Brokerage Bootcamp. Today, we're going to elaborate a little bit more on our topic of focus, which we covered in Chapter 8. So, you need to know exactly what you do. I cannot overemphasize this. I have seen it so many times where people are in the business for months, they're just started out, and they don't know what they're doing. They're taking any deal, whatever comes, and they're kind of bumbling around. If you're starting out, especially, you need to have a geographic focus, a product focus. You need to know if you're doing sales or you're doing leasing. You need to know this stuff and you need to stick with it because you're the specialist. You are the specialist. You pick your specialty and you stick with it. That is super important in being able to succeed. So you're the doctor. Remember, when somebody sees you and you say, I'm a commercial real estate broker, I sell shopping centers, I sell apartment buildings, I sell office buildings, I sell industrial properties, I sell self storage, whatever you're picking, you need to know that you're the specialist, you're the doctor. They're going to listen to you as somebody who's credible because that's your focus. People want, respect, and pay more for the specialist, whether it's a cardiologist, a brain surgeon, or your product specialty, right? So imagine if a patient goes to shops around for a brain surgeon and says to the one of the brain surgeons, "Well, I got this foot doctor is going to charge less." Well, that's going to be absolutely insane. No sane person would ever do that. So it's the same in this respect that people are going to want to work with you because you know what you're doing. You know your product, you know the area, this is what you do. So they're going to pay more for it because you're bringing in real value. So the real value comes is when you distinguish yourself as different, right? How do you do that? You compete on quality, not on price. Because there's always somebody out there who's going to compete on price. What do you think you're going to get for somebody who's going to compete on price? You're not going to get much. It's so obvious. So just make sure you know who you are, what your value is, and you stick to it. Everybody can compete by buying a listing or cutting fees. Buying a listing means you're just going to make the price high enough to satisfy the seller and you got a listing. But that's going to waste your time. Or cutting your fees. Okay, instead of whatever percent, I'm going to charge less. Well, there is a point where you stop making money. There's not going to be much money left at the end of the day when you're selling. So all the work you put into that deal, you're just not going to make much money. And it's a war of attrition at that point. How can you last with such little income? You got to remember, you are the specialist that people seek to work with and pay more to work with. They're going to respect your knowledge. I know this because I did it. I was the specialist. They sought me out. When they saw my signs all over the place, they called me to work with them. So you need to know that. So make sure you know your worth and know yourself as the specialist. So this requires discipline. You got to stick to your market. The grass could always look greener somewhere else, but it's not. Stick with it. You got to dominate your market. Be the guy or the gal who everybody knows as the specialist in that area. Who is top of mind? Be that person. The grass is not greener, like I said before. No matter whether it's product type or geography or whatever, whether it's sales or leasing, you see other people doing so-called so great. Stick with it. I know. You got to have the discipline to stick with it and you'll do well. Just stick with it. So the discipline is you got to know your product, right? Be the go-to person. How do you do that? You got to drive your market, right? You drive around the streets, you look at properties, take photos, go walk the properties, right? Go look at them. Get a sense of what the architecture is, the sizes, the condition, etc. What's the neighborhood like? right? Research your market. It's not all online. Yeah, you can go do it online. That's easy enough. But you literally got to go to your market and start looking around. Look at the properties that are for sale on the market and drive those. Look at the properties that are for lease on the market and drive those. Start knowing what's going on. What are the developments? What's what is there somewhere that's going to be torn down to build something new? What's happening? Continually educate yourself. Make sure you know, especially if you're driving to and from work and you're going through your market area, drive a different route so you know what's going on in your market. All right, that's it. We're going to start chapter 10 next. I'll talk to you soon.